Operations, Engineering, drag this down onto a bar here so we can open it up. And we're going to open up what she's training us to. So basically, right off the bat with Zandalari Engineering, you get 4 things. You get a weapon, so you can make a, what is this? You can make a mace, a one-handed mace, which requires 25 monolite and 10 storm silver ore, so just ore right off the bat. Okay, so we can make this weapon, we can make this one-handed mace. That's alright, that's no problem. And then we get this fried, F-R-I-E-D, which is it's a bomb, basically. It drops fire damage on all enemies in a 5-yard radius, so it's just, you know, it's like a bomb. It requires ore, chemical blasting caps, which you can just buy from the vendor, and insulating wire, which you can just buy from the vendor. It only takes 10 ore, so that's not too bad. You can make that. Organic discombobulation grenade throws a bomb which, when detonated, will summon 5 mechanical sheep. Any enemies that come into contact with the sheep will be polymorphed for 20 seconds. That could be quite useful, actually. I can see that being useful. 5 mechanical sheep, and any enemy that comes into contact with one of these sheep will be polymorphed. So that's like a mass crowd control. That could be quite useful, and again, that's only 10 monolite ore. Okay, so thermo accelerated plague spreader creates an area of poison, dealing 96 damage to all enemies inside every 3 seconds. So basically that's another, it's like just a different kind of bomb. So you get 3 bombs and you get a mace, basically. You get a crowd control one, a fire damage one, and a poison dot. I think the most profitable one of those is probably going to be that crowd control one, but that's just a guess. That's just because that's what I'd go for, because to me that feels like it could be pretty useful in some scenarios. But yeah, let's see what else you can get. So that's what you get at level 1. That's what you can make and put on the auction straight off out of the gate when Battle for Azeroth launches. But yeah, at level 25 then you get the deployable attire rearranger, which takes 10 ore, 6 storm silver ore, and some insulated wiring, which summons a device that will allow you to alter the look of your armor. So basically you get to deploy a transmog device, and there's nothing on the device, I can't hover over the tooltip or it's going to disappear, but there's nothing on that tooltip that says that is soulbound. So you can probably make and sell transmog items, which would be an encouraging factor to get to level 25 pretty quickly, especially if you're on Argent Dawn, which a lot of you are. Okay, so electroshock mount motivator, 12 ore, 5 storm silver ore, and some insulated wiring as well. Increases mounted movement speed by 10% for 10 seconds and stacks up to 5 times. Increased motivation may make your mount become disorientated. Does not stack with other bonuses to mount speed. So that, yeah, transmog, there's a portable transmog guy. The portable transmog pad is so good. A deployable transmogger, exactly. A deployable transmogger, which by the looks of it is not bound to the engineer. Look, there's nothing on that says you have to be an engineer to use it. A disclaimer, due to the functionality of this product, slight headaches, nausea, and race and or gender changes have been known to occur. Use with caution. So basically it can go wrong. It can backfire like a lot of the engineering stuff can do, but there's nothing on it that says it's BOP. There's nothing on it that says it's used only by engineers. So yeah, keep that in mind. And the mount motivators, that means basically you could increase your mount's movement speed up to 50% if you stack that 5 times. So that could be pretty useful as well. It's got 50 charges. There's also a charge thing, so they'd have to keep buying those as well. Some animals were harmed in the design of this device, but they're better now mostly. I do love the flavor text. Okay, so that's what that one is. At 25, you also get an interdimensional companion repository. Summons a portable stable master that will allow hunters to interact with it for up to 2 minutes. Again, the same maths as the other one. So these are basically, engineers can make portable functionality. Katie, did you see Simon's? I did not, and I will look after the stream. Magical intrusion dampener. Makes you immune to some annoyances, persists through death. Annoyances include leap of faith, threat redirecting abilities, and some gadgets like Swamp Blaster. So basically, you know, that might be valuable to raiders. I think these top three are going to be the most valuable there. At 25, you also get the XA1000 surface skimmer. Deploys a boat which will immediately begin moving across the water for 25 seconds. Does not work on land. So I take it that's like a deployable walk on water thing. As well, that you can make. So that would actually be very useful at launch for people that don't have the dark moon skate or the angler's mount. So yeah, that one could be worth looking into. You get that at level 25 too. So basically, for your engineer, your key thing is just going to be making whichever of these bombs that you can make that you want to make. I would go for them. I'll be going for the middle one, but make whichever one of those that you can make up until 25, and then get onto these, because these look like they're going to be very good seals at the early expansion times. At 35, you get a crow's nest scope, which is permanently attaches a scope. So basically, it's just another scope, increases your critical strike for 10 seconds, your usual scope thing. So at 35, you get your first scope, which is 15 monolite ore and 8 storm silver ore. So the mats don't seem crazy for that either. So that's probably a good one to get on the auction house pretty early on. Frost laced ammunition. What is frost laced ammunition? Oh, like your scope, it upgrades the ammunition. So basically, it's like a tack on upgrade for your ranged weapon. Incendiary ammunition is again the same thing. These take 20 monolite ore and vendor materials. So they're alright. The materials are alright for those. And it's not another scope. This is all at 35. And then there's a jump. You get a whole bunch at 25. You get a couple of scopes at 35. And then there's a jump where you get nothing until 85. But at 85, you get a belt enchant. Apparently, engineers can now do belt enchants. So the belt enchants, you get 3 belt enchants. And the first one is holographic horror projector. Permanently attaches a specialized device to your belt, allowing you to fear any enemy within melee range for 5 seconds. So basically, it gives you a fear. I assume these might be engineer only, although it doesn't. Oh, only the engineer's belt can be modified, and doing so will cause them to become soulbound. So this is an engineer only thing. But you can do this at 85, and you can give yourself one of 3 different effects on your belt. There was a fear. This one, the miniaturized plasma shield, gives you a shield which will absorb, creates an absorb shield around the player for 10 seconds. It doesn't say how much it absorbs or if it's completely absorbent. Those are the engineer only. Yeah, it says at the bottom there, they're engineer only. And a personal space amplifier. Attaches a personal space amplifier to your belt, allowing you to knock back your current target, and shares cooldown with potions. Okay, so basically you've got a fear, a knockback, or a shield that you can put on your belt if you're an engineer. Those are at 85, right? Those are not going to be good for gold making, obviously, because you can't sell those. Oh no, we're back to 35 for some reason. At 35, you can also get the rank ups. So you can get a rank up to rank 2 of each of these original bombs that you could get. And then you jump to the 85 and you get your 3 belts at 85. And then there's nothing till 100. At 100 skill points, I'm really considering dumping enchanting and getting an NG on my main. NG does look to be very... They have, after being so useless for so long, not useless because you can make the mounts and things like that, so there is use you can make with NG, but on the whole, I find it to be fairly useless because a lot of the stuff that they can make, the stats are not good enough for it to be competitive. People only get it really for the looks if they want the looks, so it didn't really have a consumable competitive market to keep up with the likes of enchanting in my eyes. But this looks like it has a lot of very useful functional things that they could make that will actually make engineer a serious competitor for profession choices. But yeah, so finely tuned Storm Steel Destroyer is a ranged gun that you can make at level 100. You don't have to be level 100, you just have skill level 100, sorry. 25 storm silver, 12 platinum ore, and then just 8 expulsium. So I don't know how good, I don't know the stat level, so I don't know how good the stats are, but it's bind when equipped, so it can be sold. So you can sell the gun. There's a PvP gun as well, a PvP mace, sorry, a PvP gun, and then you can also make the precision attitude adjuster. which is another mace. So 2 guns and 2 maces, one for PvP, one for PvE. And then we're back to 50 again. I don't know why these are not in skill level order, but at 50 you can actually make other things as well. That's why I thought that jump from 35 to 100 to 85 was weird, because usually there's stuff at 50. Just for some reason they're not in order on this list. So here's the things that you get at 50. You get to you'll get a rank up for all those those functional things you got at 35. You will rank those all up, which is really nice, because again, like we were saying the other day, it's nice that your rank ups, you get them just from doing the crafts. Now once you reach a certain profession level, you just can learn the rank ups. That's it. You don't have to do any funny stuff, no questing, no dungeons, nothing funny. You just get it from doing the thing, doing the work. Intrusion dampener and makes you immune to notes. Okay, so then at 50 you also get the monolite fish finder. Fish finder, monolite ore, storm silver ore, chemical blasting cap, insulated wiring, and 10 explosium and a hydrocore. So listen, this is the do you remember all the other ones had the champion armament that they could make to give their champions to bring back certain materials? Looks like we're going to have some kind of upgrade system. Yeah, probably, I imagine so, to keep them relevant. But listen, this is for fishing. It's for fishing, not for engineering parts or anything like that. That makes me think that these will actually be sellable on the auction house, because why else would they put fishing in there, you know? Why specifically for an engineer of all people? So I think you might be able to sell those, guys. Don't hold me to that one yet. I'll have to check that again, but I think you might be able to sell those companion equipments, which, if that's the case, would be very, very useful, I believe. I think a lot of people will be going for those, especially early on. Then you get an upgrade to your surface skimmer, an upgrade to your scopes, all the scopes that you could make, and the ammunitions, you get those upgraded. What else do you get here? Magical intrusion dampener. Those are, again, they're upgrades. Some more upgrades at 110. And then at 125, you get AZ3 R1T3 bionic bifocals, which are a head item, a meal head item. Increases your engineering by 20. It requires you to be an engineer. So that's basically like the engineer only head that you can make, which has always been a thing with engineer. Well, not always, but you know, for a long time it's been a thing where engineers can make a headpiece. So this is the engineer headpiece that you can make. Gear spun goggles, bionic bifocals, or orthogonal optics, or synthetic specs. So there's 4 kinds of ones you can make, which I assume, and look, the Azerite power is there. It's 0 out of 4, so it looks like there's going to be 4 upgrade levels for these armor pieces. Katie, do you know if any of these recipes and rank ups are quest related? Because I think the reason I didn't do much crafting Legion was because it was such a pain to get the Legion specific quest. No, exactly, Simon. That's exactly the same. That's why I'm scrambling now to get them finished, is because, you know, questing on my alts is not high on my priority list, so a lot of my professions didn't get done. But no, this is the trainer. We are talking to the engineering trainer right now. All of these can be learned from the trainer. All you need, the only requirement here is that you have the right skill level. 0 profession quests. That's why we were so happy about this the other day, Simon, is because these are all just from the trainer. So basically there's no RNG. You know the way at the minute as well, your rank ups are like RNG, so if you make a certain amount of them, you'll just get the rank up. It's not even like that. So it's basically like you sit and you craft 25 things, you get your skill level to 25, and you can learn it. End of story. Good. I don't have all my professions in Legion for the same reason. Exactly, Prometheus. It was an awful system, especially if you had a lot of alts, because you just physically do not have the time to go through all of those alts and do it on all of them, and it means you can't craft on any of those alts. So like my crafting army that I had set up in Warlords of Draenor was completely redundant in Legion. I mean, I've been making old world crafts and stuff. I haven't completely abandoned them, but I was in none of the current markets in Legion from start to finish, not a single one, except the ones that were on my main, and that's it, because the Legion system was just so against your alts having professions. welcome watcher, how are you doing? But yeah, these are all just from your trainer. Now there may be one or two extra recipes or bits here or bits there that are locked behind reputations or things, you know, the way like there was the ones from Molten Front or whatever. There's occasionally certain recipes that are locked behind reps, but basically the core of your profession is now from your trainer, and you just level it up and you can learn it from your trainer, and it's, you know, like it was in vanilla.